hear me. I'm gonna check real quick that you guys are able to hear me. Because I don't want to do this entire thing and then you guys not be able to hear me. That would be kind of embarrassing, right? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, there you go. So we got it started up. I'm gonna send out the invitations to the thing to the group chat while we wait here for a little bit. Sorry, just work with me. Uh, I'll probably put in the description when I'll probably start actually getting into it. But today's or when I get into the kind of like I would say today's more of a devotional, kind of just going over stuff, and it's so we'll just be going over it, But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit shorter tonight. It's been a long time since we've done this, but yeah. I'm really, I feel like this is a, like, just, it's gonna be there for you. I mean, you're gonna have to really just, hopefully you guys can listen to this and really feel engaged into it. I'm gonna wait, one, I'm gonna wait a quick second here for someone to join. But yeah, but, I mean, I mean, it's good. We just had Easter. That was a really good time. We had a really good Easter service and Good Friday service. Really good time. But yeah, it's been a little bit since we've done one of these, so we're at it today. Just got done with math state testing. Next week we got English, and I don't want to do it. I just don't really want to do it. English is just my least favorite. It's just you never look forward to English. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't look forward to English. I've never looked forward to English, but I mean, maybe you do. That's your personal preference, though, because I will never be looking forward to English. Anything to do with English, I'm not going to be looking forward to, because I just don't really, I just don't really look forward to it. Not my thing, like some people. I mean, some people love English, I know, and I think I just don't know how they love it because it's hard for me. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of annoying, stressful to do. But yeah, yeah. Excuse me for just kind of ranting right now, or just kind of going on. I'm just waiting for uh Dawson to join. Sorry. So yeah, I'm eating some Swedish fish. Swedish fish slap, and I mean, if you don't agree, then I mean, we can talk about it. We can agree to disagree, or we can, I don't know. Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, I don't know if this person's gonna join. I just don't really know. Can I do that? No. I can do that, I believe, and only microphone audio, so doesn't it just pop up that little screen? Want me to look real quick? Because if it is, this is how I'm probably gonna. Can you still hear it? Can you still? I'm just gonna do it like this. Hey, if you're the one that's in this, or I don't know, it could be me in here. Okay, well, I mean, I'm just gonna start it. I'll just start it. So, I mean, today I just want to pose a simple question for you. Who are your five best friends? I mean, who are they? I mean, just think about them. The people that you spend the most time with, either talking to or like hanging out with. Who are those people? And and hopefully you're able to come up with an answer. But I mean, just you can think about it for a little bit. But but the people that we surround ourselves is a very important thing. And so those people that you're surrounding yourselves with, those friends that you have, it's very important who you're surrounding with because people that surround us affect us a lot. I mean, peer pressure is a thing, and peer pressure isn't always a bad thing. And good peer pressure can come from good friends. So, if you're not choosing your friends carefully, then you're not going to get the good peer pressure. You're going to get more of the bad peer pressure. And we don't want the bad peer pressure. We want the good peer pressure. We want our good peer pressure that helps us walk in faith with God. And so, I'm just going to talk about two different friends that you may have, okay? Well, actually, the reason I was asking you is who are your five closest friends is because your five closest friends, they can tell you how you're going to turn out. I forgot who said it, but it's something that goes along the lines of something like that. I'm pretty sure you guys may have heard it before. But if you tell me who your five friends are, I can tell you what your life's going to be like when you grow up. And that's always really fascinated me, like to think that people could tell just what like people could be able to tell how someone's gonna be because of their friends, and that just it kind of shows you that your friends, they're gonna affect you a lot. And so we're gonna talk about two different types of friends you could have. I mean, not like sports people or something like that. I'm talking about their walks with God. So there's two people. There's two main people, I would say. I mean, you also have the warm. You have warm, but lukewarm, they just shouldn't be there. You shouldn't have someone that's a lukewarm Christian. We've already talked about that. How lukewarm Christians are just God detests them and He can't stand them. So you shouldn't have any lukewarm Christian friends. But the main two are, you can either have friends that are hot for God, or you can have friends that are cold for God. And uh like just to give you a couple examples about like some people that are like that were cold and affected people is, I mean, think about Samson and Delilah. Delilah, she was not even, I don't know, was she not a Christian? I'm sorry. I didn't do the best. I don't think she wasn't there. She wasn't a good, she didn't know God, I think. And so Samson, he surrounded himself with her. And that what happened is that Samson, he lost his ability that God gave him, the his strength. He lost it because Delilah, who was a cold friend, did something that he knew shouldn't have happened, and he let it happen because she was cold. She affected him. And I mean, yeah, right? Judas. Yeah, Judas the Iscariot. Judas the Iscariot. He was cold. He was a disciple. Jesus had him as his friend, but Judas was a bad. He wasn't a on fire type of friend. He was a cold friend. And so what happened? He ratted out Jesus, and Jesus died because of that. He died because Judas sold his friendship with Jesus and his walk with Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. That's a cold friend right there. And I mean, maybe your friends wouldn't do that to you, but they're doing that to you in your walk with God. They're doing that when they're not wanting you to come to church, when they're taking you out of church, when they're not always speaking life into you. They're not speaking positively. They're speaking negative into you. It can really affect you. And we have to be careful that we don't surround ourselves with those negative friends. Just another example of it. Oh gosh, I talked about this a couple weeks back, but King Solomon, he surrounded himself with wives of foreign nations. They weren't on fire for God. They were clearly cold. against God. And so Solomon, he was affected by those cold people that surrounded him. So cold people. If you have cold friends, if you have people that are not on fire from God, then they're gonna make you cold. Samson, he became cold. King Solomon, he became cold. Jesus didn't become cold because he's Jesus. Okay, he's Jesus. He doesn't become cold. He's Jesus. Okay. Uh, but I mean, take out the Jesus example, and I mean, you see that when cold people get into their people's lives, the people that were meant to do good, they they were they became worse. They became cold for God too. So it's like you put an ice cube into, let's say you put 5 ice cubes into a boiling water, or I don't know, maybe like 20 ice cubes into a boiling water, and what are those ice cubes gonna do? They're gonna start making it cold. They're gonna start getting that boiling water lukewarm. It's gonna start kind of going, and that's what happens when with our walks if we're not careful. That those cold friends that we have, they can affect us and they can make us cold too. And on the contrast, however, if you have hot people, if you have people that are truly on fire from God, then those people are going to also keep you on fire. Because let's say you have ice cube, okay? Just the same example as I used last time. You have an ice cube. You put that, oh gosh. You put that ice cube over a stove. You put that ice cube in a pan and in a stove, and you turn up the heat on the stove. That ice cube is gonna melt. It's gonna start become hot, just like God tells us to do. Or no, no, yeah. It's gonna start to become hotter, and so when you surround yourselves with hot people that are on fire from God, you're gonna be on fire from God. They're gonna affect you to be on fire from God. And the examples that I could use, um, sorry, Peter. I mean, Peter, he was not on fire from God, but once Jesus showed up, once someone that was already hot for God showed up, Peter, he was on fire from God. He became the rock of the church. So I mean that shows you. And also, I mean, you have sorry, man, my mind's going blank. But I mean, there's tons of examples in the Bible. I mean, of people that when they had hot people around them, they became hot also. It was Paul. He had to go. He went to, I forgot who it was, but he went to someone that was hot from God, and that person he helped Paul. He helped Paul become hot for God. And so I mean, if we really think about it, we got to start choosing hot people. We got to start choosing people that are on fire from God, because when they're on fire, then we can kind of get some of that fire. We can start being on fire from God too. And I mean, we gotta start picking better people, man. We can't surround ourselves with cold people and expect us to be hot. We can't. And that's the problem, I think sometimes people try to get those cold people, and they're like, "It's okay, man. I can get them. I can get them to become on fire." But I mean, it's just true. I mean, when you have hot versus cold, the hot always gets diluted. It always becomes colder. When you put some warm water, when you have some warm water, you put an ice cube in it. That ice cube, it starts to melt. It starts or that or dang it. That hot water starts to cool off. It starts to get kind of lukewarm. And so you find yourself being lukewarm, and you find the other person being lukewarm, and you guys are both detestable in God's eyes. So we have to start picking people that are on fire from God. And so think about it. Those people that I asked you at the start, those 5 people that you said that they were your closest friends, are they people that are on fire from God? And if they're not, you need to distance yourself from them. But you really have to look at it. You can't lie to yourself. the only way to become a better person and to listen to God's word and become a better Christian is by listening and applying it and being real with yourself. And so be real with yourself today. Are your friends on fire from God? What kind of friends do you have? Are they hot or cold? And so that's all for today. That's I hope this was able to touch you, make you think about it for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just think about who we're picking as friends, guys. And I hope you guys have a good night, and thank you for listening.